Time feels like the most reliable thing in your life. You don't question it. Seconds pass, minutes follow, and hours move forward in a steady, predictable flow. No matter where you are or what you're doing, time seems to move the same way for you, for everyone, for everything. It feels universal. You expect that if 1 minute passes for you, 1 minute passes for someone else. That your now lines up with everyone else's now. It's such a basic assumption that you never stop to think about it. But what if that assumption is wrong? Look at your daily experience. A clock ticks at a constant rate. Your phone shows the same time as someone else's across the world, adjusted only by time zone. Everything reinforces the idea that time is a shared, consistent flow, like an invisible river carrying everything forward at the same speed. And yet, there are hints that this might not be the full story. Think about how time feels. Sometimes it seems to move quickly, other times painfully slow when you're waiting. Seconds stretch when you're distracted, hours disappear. You already know that your perception of time isn't fixed, but that's just perception. What about time itself? For a long time, people believed time was absolute, a universal clock ticking the same for everyone, everywhere. This idea feels natural because it matches your experience. It fits the way the world appears to work. But appearances can be misleading because when scientists began to study motion at very high speeds, something unexpected appeared. Not a small difference, not a tiny correction, something that completely broke the idea of a universal clock time started to change. Not just how it feels, how it actually passes. This is where your intuition begins to struggle. Because the idea that time could behave differently for different people sounds impossible. If two people are moving differently, you might expect their measurements of distance to change. That makes sense. But time feels like it should be separate from motion, independent, untouchable. But it isn't, and the moment you realize that, everything starts to shift. Because now, the simple idea of time flowing the same for everyone begins to fall apart. Your 1 second may not be the same as someone else's 1 second, depending on how you're moving. That's not just strange, it's deeply unsettling, because it means there is no single shared timeline connecting everything, no universal, now that everyone agrees on. What you experience as the present may not line up with someone else's present at all. And yet, in your everyday life, you never notice this. Everything feels synchronized. Everything feels stable. The differences are too small to detect at normal speeds, so your intuition remains intact. It convinces you that time is simple, constant, reliable. But that simplicity is an illusion, a very convincing one, because once you begin to move fast enough, that illusion starts to break. And when it does, you discover something that changes your understanding of reality completely. Time is not what you thought it was. The shocking discovery: time slows down at high speeds. Once scientists stopped assuming time was absolute, they found something extraordinary. Time doesn't just feel different at high speeds. It actually passes at a different rate, not a psychological effect, not an illusion, a measurable physical change. This idea comes from the work of Albert Einstein, who showed that time is tied to motion in a way no one expected. Here's the core of it. The faster you move, the slower time passes for you, relative to someone who is not moving as fast. At first, that sounds impossible. You don't feel time slowing down when you run or drive. Your watch ticks normally, your thoughts feel the same. From your perspective, nothing changes. But from someone watching you, something very strange is happening. Your clock is ticking slower. Imagine two identical clocks. One stays on Earth. The other is placed on a spacecraft moving at extremely high speed. When the moving clock returns, it will show less time has passed compared to the one that stayed behind. Not because it malfunctioned, because time itself passed differently for it. This effect is called time dilation, and it has been tested repeatedly with incredible precision. Even small differences in speed create tiny changes in how time flows. At everyday speeds, those differences are so small you never notice them. But they are real, and they add up. This means that two people who start together, then move differently, can age at different rates. One could experience less time than the other. Time is no longer a shared flow. It becomes personal. Your experience of time depends on your motion through the universe. And this isn't just a theoretical idea. It shows up in real technology. Systems that rely on precise timing have to account for these differences, because even small mismatches can cause errors. The effect is subtle, but it cannot be ignored. Still, your intuition resists, because in your everyday life, time feels constant. You don't see people aging differently just because they walked or drove somewhere. The changes are too small to matter at low speeds, so your brain keeps believing the old story, that time is the same for everyone. But that belief is only approximately true. Once speeds increase enough, the difference becomes impossible to ignore. Time begins to stretch. From your perspective, everything feels normal. But from another perspective, you are moving through time more slowly. It's not that your experience changes. It's that your relationship to everyone else's time changes. And that leads to a strange conclusion. There is no single, universal rate at which time passes. There are only different rates, depending on how you move. This is where reality begins to feel unstable, because something you trusted, something that seemed fixed and universal, turns out to be flexible and relative. And if time can change just because of motion, then the idea of a shared timeline begins to fall apart. But this is only the beginning, because as your speed increases, the effect doesn't just continue, it intensifies. And as you approach the ultimate speed limit of the universe, something even more extreme begins to happen. The breaking point, near the speed of light so far, the idea is already unsettling. Time slows down when you move fast. But at everyday speeds, the effect is so small you never notice it. Your intuition survives because reality doesn't push back hard enough to break it. That changes as you go faster. Because time dilation is not linear. It grows more and more extreme the closer you get to a very specific limit, the speed of light. This speed is not just fast. It is the fastest anything can possibly move. And as you approach it, something extraordinary begins to happen. From your perspective, everything still feels normal. Your heart beats the same. Your thoughts flow the same. Your clock ticks steadily. Nothing inside your experience tells you that anything is changing. But from the outside, everything about you begins to slow down. Your clock ticks more slowly. Your movements stretch out. Even your aging slows compared to someone who is not moving as fast. The faster you go, the more dramatic this difference becomes. And then you reach a point where your intuition completely fails. Because as your speed gets closer and closer to the speed of light, time for you, relative to an outside observer, slows down more and more until it almost stops. Not metaphorically, almost literally. From the outside, it would look as if your clock is barely moving, as if your entire existence is stretched thin across time. Moments for you become incredibly long for someone else, but from your perspective, nothing has changed. This is what makes it so difficult to understand. There is no absolute viewpoint, no single correct version of time. Both perspectives are valid, both are real. You experience normal time. The observer sees your time slowing down, and neither is wrong. This is where the idea of a universal timeline finally breaks. Because now time is not just different, it is relative in a fundamental way. It depends entirely on how you are moving. And at the extreme limit, something even stranger happens. If you could somehow reach the speed of light, something only light itself can do, time from an outside perspective would stop completely for you. Your journey from one point to another would take no time at all, not because distance disappears, but because time does, This doesn't mean you would feel time stopping. In fact, the idea of your perspective breaks down completely at that speed. The normal rules no longer apply. The concepts you rely on before, after duration lose their meaning. Where time stops behaving like something you move through and starts behaving like something that depends entirely on how you move. This is not just a strange effect, it is a complete shift in how reality works. Because now, time is no longer a background that everything shares. It is part of the system itself, flexible, dependent, and deeply connected to motion. And once you see that, a deeper question, why does this happen at all? What is it about the structure of reality that forces time to behave this way? Because there is a reason. And understanding that reason reveals something even more profound than time slowing down. It reveals what time actually is. The hidden truth why this happens at this point. The effect is clear. Move fast enough and time slows down. Move even faster and it slows dramatically. But this raises a deeper question. Why? What is it about reality that forces time to behave this way? The answer begins with a shift in perspective. You've been thinking of time and space as separate things. Space is where you move. Time is what moves forward. Two different concepts, each with its own role, but that separation is not real. In modern physics, space and time are not independent. They are part of a single structure called space-time. You don't just move through space, you move through space-time. And that changes everything. Because in space-time, motion is not just about where you go. It's about how you divide your movement between space and time. You are always moving through space-time at a constant rate. But that movement can be split in different ways. If you are standing still, all of your motion is through time. You move forward in time as quickly as possible. But the moment you start moving through space, something shifts. Some of that motion is redirected. Instead of moving entirely through time, you now move partly through space. And because your total motion stays the same, the portion going into time must decrease. So time slows down. This isn't a force acting on you. It's not something pushing or pulling. It's a geometric effect built into the structure of reality itself. The faster you move through space, the less you move through time. That's why time dilation happens. And as your speed increases, more of your motion shifts into space, leaving less for time. The closer you get to the speed of light, the more extreme this shift becomes. Eventually, almost all of your motion is through space, and almost none is through time, at least from an outside perspective. This idea may feel abstract, but it explains everything you've seen so far. It explains why your clock appears to slow down, why your aging changes relative to others, why time behaves differently depending on motion, because time is not separate from space. It is part of the same system, and that leads to a deeper realization. Time is not a universal flow that carries everything forward. It is something you move through, just like space. Your experience of time depends on your path through space-time, on how you move, how fast you go, and how your motion is distributed. This is why different observers can disagree about time. They are taking different paths through the same structure. There is no single shared timeline, no universal clock ticking for everyone. There are only individual experiences of time shaped by motion and perspective. And once you understand that, something fundamental changes. Time stops being absolute. It becomes flexible, not in a vague or abstract way, but in a precise, measurable, physical sense. It stretches, compresses, and shifts, depending on how you move through the universe. This is the hidden truth behind time dilation. It's not just a strange effect that happens at high speeds. It's a clue about the nature of reality itself, a sign that time is not what you thought it was. And that realization leads to the final step, because once time is no longer fixed, the way you understand existence begins to change completely. The deeper reality, time is not what you think at this point. The idea of time as something simple is gone. What once felt constant, universal, and shared has been replaced by something far more flexible. Time can slow down. It can stretch. It can differ from one observer to another, depending on motion. So what is time, really? Not a universal clock ticking in the background. Not a single flow that carries everything forward in the same way. Instead, something much more personal, something tied directly to how you move through reality. Your time is not the same as someone else's time. It only feels that way because in everyday life, your motions are similar. The differences are too small to notice. So everything appears synchronized, but that synchronization is not fundamental. It's just an approximation. Underneath, every observer has their own timeline, their own path through space-time, and those paths do not always align. This leads to a strange but unavoidable conclusion. There is no single now that everyone shares. What you consider the present depends on your motion. Two people moving differently can disagree about what events are happening at the same time, not because one of them is wrong, but because time itself is not absolute. It is relative. This idea breaks one of the deepest assumptions you have about reality. You expect the universe to unfold in a single, consistent sequence of events. A clear order from past to present to future that applies everywhere. But that order is not universal. It depends on perspective. That means reality is not a single timeline. It is a collection of timelines. Each observer experiences their own version of time, shaped by how they move through space-time. These versions overlap and agree under normal conditions, which is why the world feels stable. But at high speeds, the differences become impossible to ignore. And once you see that, something shifts in how you think. Time stops being something external. It becomes something you participate in. You are not just moving through time. You are shaping your experience of it through your motion. This doesn't mean you can control time in a simple sense. You can't choose to slow it down. But it does mean that time is not fixed independently of you. It is part of the structure you exist within, influenced by how you move and where you are. And that makes reality far more dynamic than it first appears, because instead of a single shared flow, you get a network of perspectives, each one valid, each one real, each one experiencing time in its own way. This is the deeper reality. Time is not what you thought it was. It is not a constant. It is not universal. It is a dimension, flexible, relative, and inseparable from space itself. And once you understand that, the world looks different, because the next time you think about time passing, you'll know something most people don't. It's not passing the same way for everyone.